Hi, friends. Love, Heal, Grow with Susan here with you today. I'm Susan Cowan, and here to help you in your journey to love, heal, and grow. And talking today about the topic of purpose. Purpose is a big buzzword, a big topic in the world. Everybody's like, what's my purpose? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? People make a lot of workshops around this. And so this is a short video, quick lesson that can help you navigate the topic of purpose and dial in pretty quickly. So here we go. So purpose has been talked about for a long time, and Pablo Picasso is well known for having said, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. And then I matched that with a quote that I had on my refrigerator while my boys were growing up, and I wanted them to read it every day and have it become part of their mindset. And it is a well-known quote by Howard Thurman. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is more people who have come alive. And so I bring those two together because when we find our gift, we have come alive. And being alive is what we're here for. And for many of us, being alive means that we're interacting with each other, that we are giving each other what is needed in gifts. Purpose isn't always related to charitable work necessarily. It is being here on earth as a person contributing to the world that you live in. And so one of the questions I ask in my coaching work with my clients, whether it's the client that I'm working with, or in the case of working with a child or a young adult, I may ask their parents this question. And I say, when you were 4, 5, 6, 7 years old and you had free time and you could do anything you wanted, what did you choose to do? And please don't say video games because except in some rare cases, I think of video games are actually often a way to escape from the world. What I really want to know is when you could live in the world you wanted to live in, that you felt safe in, that you felt comfortable in, and you got to have complete agency over yourself. You were the boss of you. No adult agenda was coming in. Nobody was telling you what to do. What did you do? And often I'll get the answer, especially from parents of boys, not to do any generalizations, but I guess it is a generalization. I would hear they played with Legos, they built, and that indicates to me that that's somebody who really enjoys spending their time creating things as well as taking things apart and putting them back together. Now, that doesn't mean that for the rest of their life they're going to play with Legos, but it means that as their life goes along, they're going to want to bring to what they're doing a sense of building and a sense of taking things apart. So that may look like being a repair person, or that may look like being a contractor, a builder, an architect, or it may look like serving in the military in some way and fixing equipment, working with radio. But it may look completely different. It may be that later in life they take it more into their mind and work not necessarily with the literal, tangible world of fixing things, but with working with concepts of building a new company, building a nonprofit, building a new world. But the important part is that what brings this person joy what makes them feel alive is the process of building and creating. And often I might hear from a person or a parent, oh, they just love to move. And that is a key. And I won't go into details for all my examples, but that's a key. Or that they love to read, or they love to spend time alone, or they love to collect rocks, or they love to just be out in nature. Those are all keys to what really brings us joy, because it's around 5, 6, 7 years old where we can still really be our authentic self before the world and before school got a hold of us and adult agendas got superimposed on what we needed to spend our time and our day doing. Okay, and so I am going to bring you to Carl Jung's quote, which supports this, which is Carl Jung, the early psychologist in the world, said, "What did you do as a child that made the hours pass like minutes? Herein lies the key to your earthly pursuits." So, reinforcing that message. And so I'd like to bring you to think about a concept that you may have heard of before called the blue zones. So the blue zones are some areas around the world. I think it's like eight or 9 areas around the world that were discovered by a man named Dan Buettner. He identified them. I believe he was a National Geographic photographer and explorer. And he noticed as he traveled the world that there were certain places where people lived a lot longer, well over 100 years old, and didn't have the modern day diseases, the chronic diseases that Western society especially navigates. And so he marked these on a map with a blue line, and then they became called blue zones, and now they are known as the blue zones. And so, for example, one is Okinawa, Japan. Another one is in Loma Linda, California. There's one, I believe, in Costa Rica. And these are areas where lifestyle is very healthy. There's not a lot of stress. People get adequate sleep. They're eating a very healthy diet. And one of the keys in all of these communities is that for a person's entire lifespan, they have a strong sense of purpose. They have some way that they have a role in their community. There's not a sense of retirement. There's not that concept of, at a certain age you retire and then you just go and play golf for the rest of your life. In these communities, people are of value and of service in some way, shape, or form in their community for all of their life, and it morphs and changes through the course of their life. They don't prepare for one career in college and then have that career their whole life until they retire and then get put off in some kind of retirement community and eventually a nursing home. Everybody lives integrated for the entire lifespan. So from this concept of the blue zones, we know that purpose is really important part of our health and our well-being. And so then how do you know your purpose? And so in Japan, they have this concept called Ikigai, and maybe you've heard of that. And if you haven't, I would invite you to do a Google search on it, because there's a tremendous amount of information on the internet now. There are lots of people teaching workshops on Ikigai. And Ikigai is, if you imagine 4 circles that all overlap, and the top circle is what I love, which is what Carl Jung hints at, and which is what Howard Thurman and Pablo Picasso hint at, what I love. Then the circle to the right of and below what I love is what the world needs. And according to Howard Thurman, what the world needs is more people who are doing what they love. But how do you know what you love? And then to the left of what I love, the circle that's down, is what I'm good at. And then the bottom circle of these 4 circles is what I can get paid for. And where those 4 circles overlap is your Ikigai, your purpose. What I love, what the world needs, what I'm good at, and what I can get paid for. So again, there's plenty of information on the internet, lots of books, lots of workshops to explore what is my Ikigai. And so we're going to take it to a final step that I think for today is going to really help you start making a difference in how you think about your life and how you navigate every single day and every single moment. And this is a concept that's more about having every moment be purposeful rather than necessarily knowing what your purpose is. And that would be, a key piece with the Blue Zones is people living their life so that every moment is purposeful. And so how do we do that? And so here is a speaker that I recently heard gave this 3-part formula. And part number 1 is act on your highest excitement. In any given moment, what feels the most exciting to you? That points to what your passion is. That points to what you love. That points to your gifts. Act on your highest excitement. Even if it's one thing that's just a tiny bit more exciting than the other, pick that. Okay, and then the second step is to the best of your ability. So act on it to the best of your ability. And what your ability is in any given moment may be different than what it was in the moment before or the moment after. So act on your highest excitement to the best of your ability. And here's the third one that's kind of hard. With no insistence on the outcome. That's hard. No expectation, no definition of what it has to turn into, what it has to be. And when we can truly release and let go of what the outcome would be, magic begins to happen. And we see all manner of things begin to coalesce, all sorts of synchronicity come in. So I invite you today to take this 3-part formula and adopt it for how you navigate every single moment of your day. In any given moment, what will bring you the most excitement, do it to the best of your ability with no insistence on the outcome. And I will tell you that I've been, for myself, right? Sometimes people are like, well, what about you, Susan? So I have this business, this endeavor of mine that I call Love, Heal, Grow with Susan. I know from my own life experience that healing is a journey. It is not a destination. And often people think, oh, I want to be healed from this disease or healed from that calamity. And that's really looking for a cure. That's not necessarily healing. When we're on our healing journey, we're not necessarily going to come into some physical perfection, but we're going to grow. We're going to evolve. We're going to expand. And I will tell you that what I have come to know and understand is that every single human being is a soul in a body, and that soul came here on earth to be in this body to learn and grow and expand. And expansion happens when we get rid of insistence on outcomes. Expansion happens when we are in that high vibration of love and authenticity. And so that is something that I learned early on for myself as a little child, is that I really am good at and I love getting paid for what the world needs, which is help. Help with loving yourself more so that you can heal and so that you can grow. And so here I am today with my business, Love, Heal, Grow with Susan, in which I offer one-to-one life coaching sessions to help you transform your life in which I offer energy healing sessions as well as intuitive readings for people. I also teach yoga in one-on-one, or I teach yoga classes in my community and online. Then I live my life to the best of my ability, living each day willing to face what's right in front of me, willing to be present with the mud and the muck of life, because it's in the mud that the lotus plant can blossom. So I'm here for you. If you've listened to this video and you have felt like, wow, I would really like some help better understanding how do I know what brings me joy? How do I know what my passion is? I can definitely help you figure that out. I have helped many, 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 many people find those answers. So I hope that this video on purpose is helpful for you, and I hope more than anything that you find a way today, right now, to love yourself, whether that is taking a foot bath or just going and washing your hands and letting the warm water run over your hands, or whether that's sitting down and having a nice meal by yourself or with the people you love. Do something to love yourself today, because that's the start. All right, my friends, sending you big love wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this, and hoping all sorts of blessings and miracles for you. Bye for now.